Hey, how's it going, everyone? What's up? And welcome to my Arrow review for this week. So this was a pretty good episode for Darth Oliver. I love that they actually called him that in the episode. But before we get into the review, take a look at this picture right here. This is from the promo for next episode. We get to see Katana in full costume. That is just fucking cool. She looks awesome. I can't wait. But now let's get into the review. So my number 5 moment, the training with Ra's al Ghul at the very beginning, the training scene, and Oliver kills again. It took me a second to realize, oh shit, he just killed that guy. But yeah, Oliver's training scene, how they actually broke his mind, being locked in a dungeon for like 2 weeks or something like that. There was a time jump, which in that time jump was the process of them breaking Oliver. Oliver Queen, at least, for Sah-him to be born. But yeah, so the training scene was pretty cool when they're fighting out in the dirt in that arena, and Oliver actually kills again. They gave him this plant or herb that made him think that this guy was Diggle, and he had to do the ultimate sacrifice. Well, not the ultimate sacrifice, but we'll talk about that later. And he has to kill the guy. Kill Diggle, essentially, and he does it, and it took me at least 15 minutes to think back and be like, oh shit, he killed that guy. But yeah, moving on. So my number 4 moment, the League versus Team Arrow. So after Oliver captures Lila, and Diggle yells at everyone, and they go to get her back, they pretty much set up a trap, and it was just an all-out brawl, and it was fucking cool. It was Diggle versus Oliver. Felicity sitting there in the back. The Canary, Black Canary, was kicking ass in the scene. Nessa was kicking ass in the scene. And then something else happens, which we're going to go ahead and segue into. But this was pretty cool. The fight was awesome. Actually, never mind. We're not going to segue yet. So my number 3 moment, before we get into the moment that I was going to segue into, time to plan another wedding. This time it's Nissa and Oliver, or Sah-him. I still don't know what to call him. Whether to call him Oliver, even though he really isn't Oliver anymore for at least another episode, or Sah-him. I don't know anymore. Anyways, so after Nissa gets captured and Oliver is about to kill her, Ra's stops him and pretty much says, y'all two getting married, be prepared. And I just, it made me laugh in that scene, because the two of them are just standing there, and Nissa's like, oh shit, and Oliver's just standing there with his stern face, but he's thinking, oh shit. So I found it pretty funny. It was a comical scene when it wasn't supposed to be, or maybe it was supposed to be, and I don't know. I have no clue. It was funny. So my number 2 moment. We're going to pretend like my number 3 moment never happened, so we can segue from my number 4 moment into my number 2 moment. That's a very confusing set of numbers. But yeah, so just a few seconds after the big battle ended between the League and Team Arrow, Oliver is pretty much about to kill Diggle. He might have stopped. I don't know. He might have. But Thea stops him. Thea suits up, and she shoots Oliver in the arm and then threatens to put one through his eye. Now, we didn't really get too good of a look at her costume, and she wasn't even wearing her mask yet. It was like a hood. It sort of looked like a League of Assassins getup, except with a different hood, sort of. I don't know, it looked different, and I cannot wait to see more of it, and see how they evolve it in the next 2 episodes, because she's getting a mask, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's going to be really cool to see, and I'm wondering when they will name her. That's what I'm waiting on. So my number 1 moment. Oliver has to exterminate Starling to become Ra's. So, the vial that Nissa was hiding in her sword was the Alpha Omega, which if you pay attention to the cutscenes, I know a lot of people don't, because they are boring and sort of annoying. Oliver and Maseo and Tatsu are trying to stop the Alpha Omega from being released, but it releases and it is pretty much killing China, or Hong Kong, or wherever they're at. China, Japan, I have no idea. I'm sorry, I haven't paid attention that much to the flashbacks. But yeah, so Ra's is going to make him release it on Starling to become the next Ra's. That's pretty much the final stage of him becoming the demon. And it's really I like how they're tying it in with the flashbacks, but it's really, 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 like, why do they even have flashbacks? I know it's to progress Oliver's character that doesn't even really exist anymore, which doesn't make sense at all, but I just don't understand. We all know that it won't happen, but it is like thought-provoking to see if he will actually, like, think about going that far. It's thought-provoking. So let's move into the review. So the thing that got me with this episode, and don't get me wrong, Black Canary was awesome, Laurel was awesome, but she kept something from someone again that was pretty drastic, and she tried to make their choices for them. I mean, she was just a little bit annoying in this episode. I am a Laurel lover. Like, when everyone else hated her, I loved her because I knew where her character was going, but this was like season 2 Laurel coming back to where she was trying to make everyone's decisions for them. And it was a little frustrating. Another thing that got me with the episode was the flashbacks. I know most CW shows have flashbacks, as horrible as it is. And I've already said my piece on it. It's progressing a character that doesn't really exist anymore. And even though it's kind of giving some background on what's going on right now, it's just convenient when they show them. I know it's supposed to be convenient like that and shit, but it's just a little bit frustrating because the flashbacks have gotten so tedious over the past 3 seasons that a lot of people just don't even pay attention to them anymore. Me included sometimes. Like, I paid attention enough in the season to have an idea of what's going on and who it's going on with, but it's like, I know there are some kids out there that watch it, and they probably have no idea and pay no attention to the flashbacks. Maybe this is just me getting annoyed with the tedious flashbacks and having to pay attention to them just to have an idea of what's going on in the future. I know that's the point, but fucking still, I probably sound like a babbling idiot who, I don't know. But the flashbacks kind of annoy me. But otherwise, the episode was awesome. 8 out of 10. It was great. I can't wait to see where they go in episode 22. In the promo, it looked like Oliver was still trying to save John and all the others by capturing them so they wouldn't die to the Alpha Omega. But yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.